What is up guys, today we're going to stick with the whole win your lane theme of videos and we're going to look at how important potions are early and how you can win what I like to call the potion game. So let me explain what this potion game is basically all about. So in essence it's pretty simple. You start the game with a fixed number of potions and once they're gone you can't heal anymore. Well that's simple, right? And it's just logical, but why would you actually care? Well, sustain is the key to early lane control. Like if you lose a trade and you're low health and you can't heal back up, then you're instantly on the back foot and you let the enemy free farm or do whatever they like. This is why I say that the early lane phase is playing the potions minigame. You're basically just trying to make the enemy use their potions while not using yours. Now again, I use this example a lot, but when I coach people, this is the first thing that I ever teach them. Honestly, we go into a custom game and this is the first thing I show them. In my opinion, it's the key to the lane phase, and if you don't manage your potions properly, then everything else becomes harder, even if you're great mechanically. So how are you playing the lane, like how aggressive you can be and how you use your potions is all down to the situation. So instead of me overloading you with information, I'm going to give you a couple of examples of what I mean. So for AD carries, it's pretty standard. You only have one potion with Adoran's Blade. So if you trade and make the enemy use their potion, but you don't use yours, then you're in control of the lane. The reason you're in control is because now you can fight again, and even if you both take damage, you can heal it back up with that potion you have, whereas your opponent can't and is going to stay low health. So for mid laners, it's a little bit different because there are way more starting options. So let's just say, as an example, that you started with a flask and 3 health potions, whereas the enemy has a Doran's Ring and 2 potions. In this matchup, you have the sustain advantage here, but are weaker in actual fights. Say that you trade and you have to burn 2 flask charges to recover and they use 1 potion. So you trade again and you may have to use your last flask charge and a potion, but they use their final potion and now you're in control. You still have 2 potions left, and so when you trade now, they can't recover and they either have to base or just farm under the turret. So finally, let's look at top lane, and again this can vary much like mid lane, but a common example is you start cloth 5 and your opponent starts Doran's Blade. Now they only have 1 potion here, so even if you trade and you end up using 2 or even 3 potions to recover, you've made them use their only potion. Now when you trade, you have potions to heal back up and they don't, so they'll have to base and TP to farm, or they'll have to farm under their turret and let you push. You'll notice with the top and mid examples that I'm assuming you're losing more health than your opponents, and that's because number 1, they have a better combat item than you do, and number 2, you may not take the perfect trade because you are trying to burn their potion. What I mean by the second point is that the mismatch in number of potions means that you can take trades that you lose because you have more sustain basically. So those examples are obviously ideal situations, but it doesn't always go to plan and it's not always possible to burn their potion while keeping yours, but this is something you need to always be thinking about, and it leads on to my top tip for keeping a potion advantage. Now this mainly applies to the bot and top lane, but it also can apply mid lane with some health regen as well. So you'll see in this clip that I actually get hooked twice. I know, I'm a scrub, what can I say guys, sorry. Anyway, you'll see that I don't use my potion either time, even when around 50 to 60% health. Now this is because I'm confident that I can play defensively and just lifesteal back. Basically, I can play around not using it, so I don't. Now I don't want to fight here, and I know that they can't kill me even if I get hooked because I can jump away, so there's no need for me to use that potion. This means that I keep the potion game level and I don't put myself at a disadvantage for kind of no reason. The key things in this example to remember though are that 1, I knew I wouldn't die if they engage, and 2, I could lifesteal safely without taking more damage and jump away if I had to. So let's just remember that potions aren't everything. Obviously, if they have a Doran's Blade and you have a flask top lane, then they will do more damage to you and potentially kill you if you take a really bad trade. Playing the potions game is the most optimal way of laning, but as I said earlier, it's not always possible. Okay, so now we know what the potion game is, we can go into these 2 kind of wild cards that kind of screw with the whole system, and that's sustain in the form of spells and also lifesteal. Now let's look at lifesteal first, because we've kind of already hinted at this in a couple of the examples. So playing the potion game against someone who has lifesteal is harder, but lifesteal is only good if the enemy can actually attack. If you use your health or potion advantage to zone them from the wave, then that lifesteal won't be doing anything for them. Now sustain from spells like Nami or Sona, for example, really change the game completely. When you're playing with a heal, it means that you can take trades to get rid of potions because you can heal back up anyway. Say you're bot lane and you trade and you both use your potions. So now neither of you have any potions, you actually want to fight again and both take damage. The enemy can't heal back up, but you can because you have a support with a heal. It's basically like having an infinite number of potions, I guess, and that's probably the easiest way to explain it, and that's probably the way you should think about it anyway. So to sum up what I've covered then, the potion game wins your lane early. It depends entirely on what you and they have bought first. Look at how many potions they have and work out how many of yours you can afford to use to get rid of them. Now lifesteal is only good if they attack, and finally any champion that has a heal basically wins the game. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to click the tome link to help me out in the description below, and I will catch you in my next video.